As 2009 ended and it was the end of a decade, 2010 was upon us. And from this point on, 2010, great opportunity was upon every single fruit machine player in the UK. And that is because that this was the era of new releases. Companies such as Barcrest and Bellfruit were now concentrating and releasing brand new games, brand new concepts at a real quick rate. Now, Bellfruit, of course, were massively into Deal or No Deal franchise, and this is the point where they started pushing out new games left, right in Chelsea. And the opportunity to make money was astronomical, because every single Deal or No Deal, with the exception of a couple, could either be manipulated for a jackpot, be emptied, or you could get like 2 jackpots out of them, for example, or extra value out of cash pots. There was lots going on. And to that as well, there was definitely some inside wrongdoings in the Bellfruit companies. There was 100% some sort of engineer out there putting these tricks in for fruit machine players. There's no question about it. Now, I think truly that some of them are pure mistake. I think that some of them were created accidentally, but there was definitely, if you put 2 and 2 together, you can see that there was definitely some sort of inside knowledge being pushed out. And that is because I would go to say that once all these Deal or No Deals that worked, and you'll get to them in future episodes, such as Mega Deal or No Deal, The Perfect Deal, Live the Dream, Make or Break, there's loads, there's plenty, Play It Again, there's lots of different games that were released. They all had some sort of trick, some sort of clue on them. A lot of them could be emptied, for example, on Program 1. The company then realised these were getting emptied, they fixed them, they chipped them, and guess what? When they did that, they worked for a different trick, they worked for a different method. And that is exactly what is happening on this one in front of you. Deal or No Deal, the banker's bonus. So yes, great opportunity and great money to be made, and a lot of people made a lot of money in this era. This is my favourite era, hands down, and that is because of the amount of tricks that were going on, but also the scalability, the amount of machines there were about. There was more pubs, there was just more interest in fruit machines, they got played more. There was a lot more, I would say, interaction in the pub. You'd get groups of 5 or 6 young lads around a machine doing £20 each. It's just very fond memories. And I know it's easy to sit here and say, yeah, you're going to have fond memories because you're making good money. And I think that really is like hitting the nail on the head. But at the same time, the games, in my opinion, were fun to play. There was a lot of stuff going on. Now, Deal or No Deal Banker's Bonus, the one machine in front of you that you can see beautifully shining in attract mode, had a lot of things going on. It was a very complicated machine in the sense that there was loads of different buttons, there was lots of different things going on at the top, like cash pots and a weird shaped board and loads of Deal or No Deal phone symbols. I mean, there's lots going on. But that's what made this game really interesting. Now, Program 1 was fully emptyable. It was done through getting a goal away and then getting Deal or No Deal off the message and then busting it on a goal away. But it was a little bit complicated, and this one doesn't work. So I'm not actually going to go into that. But more importantly, it's how they then chipped it and fixed it to then create what you see in front of you. A magical game which allows you to get £280 minimum. Now that is crazy talk, isn't it? £70 fruit machine paying 4 times the amount minimum. Yeah, you heard me right, because that's what this machine could do. And it was an amazing machine. I remember the day I got the phone call, I knew where one was and I went straight to it. And as soon as I went to it in Woolston and Southampton, lo and behold, it worked. In fact, the pub that had this no longer exists. People that live near there will know the pub. I can't remember what it's called. It's actually a load of houses now down a little sly road, but it had one in there, and when I tried it and it worked, I could not believe my eyes, because this game here was just ridiculous to see. Now, before I get into that, I'm just going to talk about the game very, very quickly. Can anyone spot the mistake on this machine? Now, weirdly enough, it's not a massive mistake, but look at the Deal or No Deal. The layout, they should be the other way around basically. The blue segments should be on the left and the red should be on the right. Doesn't make no difference in how the game plays, but it's a strange one really, because whoever created this obviously just made that small mistake. But looking at the feature board itself, you've got the top segment, which is deal or no deal, and then the cash pot at the top. And then you've got this weird shaped board, whatever this might be. It's an octagon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, an octagon with deal or no deal button on the left. And you can see there's 4 phones. So this is very important, which we'll come back to in a minute. And then the most important thing about this game is these 3 buttons here. Now the top button is the most significant point about this game, in the way that you get the 280. This button here, the swap box, was really important if you wanted to get a cash pot, and the bottom button was extremely important because without this you couldn't get the go all the way. So these 3 buttons were something which hadn't really been pushed out in a deal or no deal franchise before. There'd been games such as Dream Factory which weren't that great, which had like activate bank it and things like that, and most deal or no deals had message from the banker, but the swap box was a completely new concept. So that there made this game really easy to get cash pots. So in a nutshell, a very, very interesting game to look at. Now the mega streak symbols down here, one of the most annoying things ever, and that is because when you're trying to get this machine in the position to give you the go all the way, and it's before it naturally wants to give you the go all the way, there can be points where this will just give you jackpot, and it's very frustrating. It can do it 2 ways. It can either shoot these mega streak symbols and then just bang mega streak and nothing you can do, or it can hit like cash or feature and just fly up. And I know a lot of people that have played this game before will remember those dark times, and it's not the end of the world because, to be honest, the game's so buzzed that that it's just sort of like a free jackpot. It will still be deal or no dealing afterwards. It's not the end of the world. It just you just want to be in and out the pubs as quick as possible. So that's the layout. Program 1s, like I said, were fully emptyable. They created this game here. Now, behind the scenes of this video, I've actually played this quite a lot on a pound stake, and I want to do that to get the cash pot up, but I've done it so much that this game here is naturally go all the way ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pause the video, and then I'm going to bring you back with this box here illuminated so I can see what's in it, and then I'm going to just play the game on a pound and just probably take the jackpot, and then show you afterwards that it's still deal or no dealing, try and get a cash pot, and then afterwards I will then show you the 280 rip, and I'll keep count and we'll just see how much money, the potential that I can make out of this game here. And that is as well, one thing I did forget was that the stakes were separate. That's how you can take 280 out of it. You can take 140 out of the 25p stake and then 140 normally at the pound stake. And I'll show you how that's done when I get to it. You will be amazed because it's crazily well, it's just massively crazy how it works. And like I said, when I tried it in Woolston that time in that pub, yeah, I was blown away. Right, gonna pause the video and I'll be right back. Alright then guys, a little bit of a change of plan. I actually boosted the cash pot all the way up to 70 on a pound. Now because this was jackpot ready, I played a couple of deal or no deals and just dealt off on like 15 quid just to kill it off a little bit, because when this game's flying, it's absolutely flying, and these can be a headache when they're too juiced up, too buzzy. So yeah, it's still absolutely flying, but it's not jackpot ready at the moment. But I have managed to get the cash pot on the pound up to 70 quid, which is the max, which would be lovely. So in a minute I'm going to put some money in and we're going to get that cash pot. Now what I'll talk about very quickly before we get into that is how that's obtained. Like I briefly mentioned about this swap box, and this is like the most effective way of getting cash pot, because what it would do, it would swap your box to the best box, or if you had a really good box you could swap it out for a poor box. So basically whatever's left at the last round, you no deal, and it does a little countdown to give you the chance to swap, and then lo and behold you do swap if you choose to. If you do nothing, it just collects whatever is in your original box. But yeah, ideally what you want it to do is drop in cash pot naturally, then you don't have to swap anything. But if it doesn't, you just no deal all the way to the end, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it leaves the cash pot to the end. You then just no deal that and swap your box, and whatever your value was, it would swap for cash pot. So we're probably going to see that in a minute, and yeah, we get that 70 quid. After that, we'll then drop it down to 25p stake, because that is completely on its own. It's completely independent in comparison to the 50p and a pound. And then I will show you how you rip the £140 on the 25p stake. And then because it's independent, because it's separate, it will still be dealing on the pound stake afterwards. So you do the 25p stake first, then the pound stake afterwards, and you take 140 quid out of each stake. Well, 25p and a pound. Now, these can be a headache. I'm not going to lie, these can be a bit of a problem machine. And if they become too juiced, you really do struggle to get the ingredients to trap this for the mega streak for the go all the way, and therefore get the 140. You'll probably see that maybe in this video. Hopefully not. Hopefully it just flies out and it just does a really good representation of what they can do. Because in a nutshell, you know, 280 off the deals plus 70 quid cash pot is 350. That's what these hold. And guess what? If the cash pot was high on this stake, 50p, you could get that out as well, which was the case in some pubs. Right, so enough of me yibby yabbing on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back when I've got some credits in on a pound stake, and we'll go for that cash pot. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay then, so I've rattled 10 quid through it. And as you can see at the top there, £70 cash pot. I did start recording and I got a deal or no deal, but then the doorbell went, so I had to go and answer it. So that's why the box has changed. So we go again. But yeah, what I'm going to be doing now is getting a board, getting deal or no deal, and going for this £70 cash pot using the swap box. So on a pound a go, phones in view anywhere is a deal. Don't know if I've mentioned that. So once this is phoning and offering a deal or no deal, it'll constantly be giving it. It'll go through little patches of like not doing much, but it will still be sitting there. So there's the first board, about 15 quid in. So we need to get that, activate swap, and then that's all we need. That's literally all we need. So we're going for this cash pot. We just play this, and we're praying that it lands cash pot, which is not. And now at this point here, we're relying on cash pot to remain all the way to the end. So that's a good round. We want to be getting rid of this 70 here, I mean, as well. Okay, so it's got rid of the left cash pot. The important thing is this double deal. Look at that offer, 40 quid. It's mad that. For that board. Yeah, we always play with 4 phones, so we've got both sides active. So that's the reason why we do it. So we just need to no deal it and it keep the cash pot. Okay, good. Right, first deal, get in there. Right, so now we're going to no deal. We know we got £2 in the box. Got to imagine that there is not that's not lit, obviously, in the real time pubs. So we'll know our box or know our spin. So we know that's 2 quid. And then we can work it anyway for the deal. No deal. Right, so no deal. Here's a swap box. Going to swap the box. And it will swap in the highest amount, which is cash pot. Now that is a free £70 win. There's no question about it. That there is going straight into the bank. And the machine will remain juiced, remain buzzed. So, yeah, lovely jubbly. Now, if the cash pot was high on 50p, we'd be going for that too. So we could change stake to 50p and then we'd get that one out. I mean, that there is way too low. So there's not much really we can do with the cash pots anymore. But it's a free £70 jackpot. And you can see it's reset to 20 quid. So now the point of the video is now to get the 280 out. And the first step is to drop it to 25p and try and get the first 140. Now this is where the magic happens, guys. It's where the most bizarre thing that you'll ever see would happen in the terms of, I would say, a deliberately implemented trick. And that is the way that this machine will give you 140 quid instead of the 70. Now, like I mentioned, the stakes are independent. So 25p is separate to the 50p and the pound. but you have to do the lower stake first. So we're on a 25p stake, and we'll go for boards. Now this will be dealing, but 25p stake is not like the pound. It can be an absolute headache. It can be a weird stake. It goes through patches of like doing stuff, like dealing every board, and then other boards it would just do nothing. As you can see, it's phoned straight away, as we expect. Okay, I need to land on that bonus. So I need to get the thing called the ingredients. So this is a bank on it. Not the swap, we don't want to swap. Okay, we need that. And now we need it to roll a 4. Okay, so as soon as it hit the 3 red phones, it's no good. Can't do anything. We'll hit high in that for it to die. But we need the message from the banker square as well. Without that, we can't get this machine to give us the invincible board early. And the reason for that is because of the machine does not know the next number will be. So we'll see that in a minute. Never worry about high-low in your squares. It will do what it's got planned out in the beginning. If it wants to open up the deal, it will still open it up. Right, so the bonus has slowed down. So I'm going to take a no-lose here. Now this can go one or two ways. It can either stitch me. So all I need is an activate bank it. But because the bonus is slowed down, I want this to go to an 11. It's not that good. I'm going to hit lower than this 9. See, it worked out badly. I needed a bank on it then, but when the bonus is slowing down, every second successful gamble on that bonus will be slow too. So it's definitely worth gambling high-low when it's slowing down. You saw then that board there didn't even open the deal. Just decided to bin me off with a £2 board. That's what I mean by this 25p stake. It is a bit of a headache. I can't remember how much I'm in. I think I'm in around about 20 quid, give or take a few quid. So I'm going to start transferring now, just so we can keep an eye on the amount of money that we're putting in, because I want to see what the total will be at the end in terms of profit. Look at that again. 3 presses dead, even though it's mega dealing, i.e. 3 red phones. It's a weird stake, the 25p stake. So we keep going along. We keep plodding along. The problem with the 25p stake as well is that the only way you can get deal or no deal from the off is by getting them on the win line, the actual middle line. You can't get it any other way. On a pound stake, obviously, any phones in view is mega. Is deal or no deal. Right, there we go. So we've got deal or no deal, which we're going to be expecting every board, pretty much, give or take the odd crappy boards. That's a fair point. You can get things off the question mark as well. So you can get activate bank it and activate swap off the question mark. Right, roll a 4. Okay, didn't really make a difference. Right, let's keep going. This has always been a difficult stake in my opinion. Not necessarily getting the 140. It's just the boards are just either flat or good. A pound stake, every board is a deal or no deal board when it's in this position. But on the other flip of the coin, a pound stake can be really frustrating as well, because when it's too juiced, he'll actually just avoid the bonus square, and it just land on like the phones constantly. He'll just roll 8s, 8s, 8s all the way around to the phones. There will be a point as well, if this takes the mickey, that this will naturally go all the way. Well, I'm going to go lower than this 10. I'm not going to go lower than that 8, because if it gave me a 9 or a 7, if I remember rightly, that takes you back to that bonus. Okay, so slow down. So I'm going to take an activate bank here. I could take extra life, but I'm going to take that and I'm going to go higher than the 2. Okay, and it's slow down, right? And then I'm going to go, I'm just going to go phone, okay? And I'm going to hope it rolls to the next phone. No! That's high, that's highly frustrating. Any better number then, I would have skilled to a phone and just highlight the phone. That's frustrating though. So this video could be really, really long, guys. So I think what the best protocol would be is to we'll get another feature board, and then I'll just bring you back when I get the opportunity. I'll just keep transferring the money so you can see the bank and how much it's costing. But I'll bring you back when I get the opportunity and you can see exactly how the trick works when I get to it. So what we'll do is we'll play for one more board. And then I will, after that board, if I don't get it, pause the video and bring you back when I've got the chance. So you can see 25p stake, just spinning off credits. Not really doing much. It likes to roll 11 from the beginning sometimes as well. And 9 times out of 10 it will just give you the oh, look how high that cash is. It normally bins you off when it gets that high. Yeah, 9 times out of 10 it starts with activate swap on that bonus. It rolls 11 from the beginning. It's like programmed to do that. But anyways, I'm going to pause the video and I'll bring you back when I've got an opportunity. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay, first attempt here. So I'm just going to take this skill stop whenever it goes back round. I hope it does go there. If not, I'm going to have to take no lose. Oh. There you go. Right, so we're going to go back to the what's going on there? There you go. What happened there? It froze. So we're going to go back round to the 4th red phone. Okay, so now we're 1 away from 4 red phones. Sorry, that was back to the red phone for 3 red phones. 4 red phones is a go all the way invincible board. Now the machine does not know this message from the banker, buttons lit in a sense, and it can say the next number will be, and that's what we want. So I'm going to go for it now. Okay, it's not done it. Really frustrating that is when it does that. But if that went the next number will be, you go high lower for the 4th red phone and then the magic happens. So I'm going to have to kill that board off, and that is attempt number 1 at it. It cost around about 30 quid to get. So what I'm going to do is again pause the video and I'll bring you back when I've got it. I'll show you this board here. Sometimes you just get it straight away. Literally get it first sort of boards and you're like happy days. This board is a dead board. From that last board, yeah, so frustrating. So it's going to kill me, yeah, see? Right, I will bring you back when I've got the exact same setup again. Okay then, attempt number 2 then, shortly afterwards, about 10 or later. So, message from the banker, we want to see the next number will be. Yay, there we go. Okay, so second attempt we get it. So it says next number will be 6. So we're going to go lower than that 6. It thinks it's going to that question mark. So it's go all the way because you now got 4 red phones. Right, now watch what happens when I press play deal or no deal.
Your box is hidden behind the
Because it's a go all the way board, everything's jackpot. The machine knows it's jackpot. And it's offering us 70 quid either side. Now the bank it button's lit. Now what happens when I press bank it? Both of them flash and it banks 140 quid. So then all I do is press deal, get banked value, bank it taken, 140 quid banked. And there you go. And it gives you a repeat chance as well. No chance that's repeating. And that is it. That's 25p stake done. £150 profit so far. And it's not over yet. Because now I'm going to put up to £1. And now this should deal pretty quickish. This should be phoning within the next, like, between It can be instant, but it can cost an extra 30-40 quid to get back round. But you just keep your eye on it in the next few quid and just see what it's playing like. So let's transfer money. Keep to the plan of having the money in the bank so we can see how much is there. Hopefully it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Fingers crossed anyway. So at the moment it's sort of blocking it, and it can do this, but sometimes it just instantly phones like straight away afterwards and you're like, happy days. There you go. So that costs about 30 quid. Now this isn't going to be red phoning from the off. It has seen a little bit. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to bring you back once we get all the ingredients. So get a bank on here. Get a banker here, might be interesting. You have to go back to that skill stop. Yeah, so it's absolutely flying still. There's not much I can do here because it's not going to give me the natural goal all the way. Right, I will bring you back when I get the opportunity again on this, and I'll keep transferring. Okay, it's just got to the point where it's naturally gone all the way, and I've rejected it. I've actually just turned it on and off at the wall, but well, I simulated that. You can take the gold away. There's no reason why you can't. It's just a percentage one, so it will still be phoning afterwards. It will still be dealing. You'll see in a minute. I also dropped it down to 50p, which is something I used to do as well because it's a separate stake, but pound stake can just be too juiced. It can just be too crazily buzzy. So yeah, that's why I did that. Just to show you a little bit. It can say gold away now. Okay, it's not. But this could just boost anything. So what we need to be getting is a bank on it. Because this can just highlight the phones out now. Okay, so want to be landing on phones ideally. Yeah, not really liking that. It's just done that. How's it killed me? That's unbelievable. Literally last board went gold away. It's absolutely flying, and it just killed me. So, nope. Yeah, I'll bring you back when we get another opportunity. If this says gold away, I'll cut the quid. Or if it doesn't, I'll just collect it. I'll cut the quid, I mean. Or I might just actually... Okay, slow down. That's what I was hoping for. So you can now lose this and go higher. I'm just going to take the activate bank hit. And I hope it goes back to some phones. Okay. So we need to get a couple of gambles. 8. Another 8, please. Okay, good. Right, first attempt then, after the last one. Next number. Yeah, right, we can get off it. Okay. So hiding that 6. Go all the way. Play deal or no deal. And as we exactly did before, we'll bank that. And then we'll deal it. Okay, so I'm only £20 in this. And I took a £70 cash pot and 280 quid's worth of value. 254 in the bank, which is a £230 raise on this game. And this is jackpot ready as well, this was. So, yeah. Mad to think, really. If I maybe took the jackpot and then played for this afterwards, it might have worked out better. Might not have. So, this could easily still be phoning. If it was so juiced that it was given a gold away. But 9 times out of 10, this would be flat as a dodo now. And it'd be costing 15 to 20 quid for a board and just be rolling in cherries and mixed sevens. There's been countless times that I've played these in the past that were stone dead, get 150 quid involved and still make money on these. You know, it costs 150 quid to get the phones, the game deal or no deal in, and yeah, you still make money. They were a great game. And I had quite a lot of these. I had about 15 of these on my doorstep, once a week going to these, taking 280 out of them. Great days. So whack in the comments on your experiences and any stories you got about the game, and yeah, what a trip down memory lane this one. This was at least, like I said, 13-14 years ago when this was released, and I do believe that this got upgraded to 100 as well, if my memory serves me right. I might be wrong with that. It's been a long time. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Much love like usual. Ta-da!